Holy cow. There were a lot more of these guys here earlier, but holy cow.
That's all I could say when I saw a whole bunch of sheriff cars on a night ride. Cause I decided, hey, why not go somewhere at night, of course? Cause I was out searching for cop car pictures cause I just got a light on my bike. Also, nice reflective gear as well. Cause I don't recommend you go out at night unless you have the proper gear so that you can be seen. But anyway, back to the story. Once again, I was riding out at night, searching, of course, for cop cars. I take this, I'm proud of those pictures that I take and I post every single day. And I make sure it motivates me to go out and ride my bike to find those pictures of cop cars. Whether I have to ride an hour away or 10 minutes away, I can and will keep riding until I get at least one picture of a cop car that I can post that day and say, here you go, here's a picture of a cop car, because I know you all enjoy it. But anywho, I was absolutely, there was a ton, and there should be, of course, some pictures coming up on the screen from my phone that I had to move over to my computer so I could show you guys. And you guys are also going to be able to see one of these pictures in my YouTube, what is it called? YouTube community tab. If you don't know where that is, just click on the head, click on that channel button, and then go over to the community tab, and you'll be able to see all the cop car pictures you want. But as you can see from those pictures, there's a whole bunch of dudes standing around, a whole bunch of sheriffs standing around, a whole bunch of cars, literally everywhere, lining up the whole street, blocking off basically that whole little area. And basically what they're at is a library. At first, I thought it was like a performing arts center, because of how aesthetically pleasing it looks and all this other stuff. But come to find out, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the map. I'm like, where am I again? A library. I'm like, wow, somebody must have broke into the library, because what I don't have a picture of was actually sheriffs, like 5 of them, just all around the building, not all in the same place, but there's like in pairs, 2, 2, 1, 2 sheriffs on like the side, like shining lights into windows, shining lights around the building, and they're all looking around the building for, I guess, somebody who broke in. And then by the time I got back, I think you might be able to see it in the video. I don't know. Maybe you will, maybe you not. I hope not, at least. But there's actually somebody in the back of the cop car who's got arrested, I'm assuming, for the robbery, break-in, whatever. So, there's a guy back there. I guess they might have found him. I don't know. He might be talking to them about what happened, what he saw. He might be a witness and just saying, oh, I saw somebody there, saw and so. They're taking a report, so on and so forth. But they had the whole squad there. They must have taken off the whole shift. However, that area is a very affluent neighborhood, I should say. So that's probably like the biggest call they got all night. Let's be completely real. There's no gun crime. This is like the richer part of, or at least the richer city in LA County. So you already know, dude, when they hear like a robbery, at least of that magnitude, or a break-in of that magnitude, where they're going to need to search a whole lot of ground, because that building is huge, dude. It is absolutely ginormous and huge. When they hear a magnitude that, they're sending everybody. Every single, I'm assuming basically almost everybody on that shift was there. Because there was so many cop cars, dude. So many. I might have to repeat some pictures just so you guys get the magnitude of how many cop cars were there. There were a whole lot, dude. A whole lot. And within a matter of like minutes of me going out, coming back, because I'm like, I can't just take these pictures and leave, dude. I need to make a video on this. I'm missing out. And within those minutes, like, the cop cars must have moved, because they moved. I saw them on like the side. They've moved out basically. Some of them moved across the street to the other side. Some of them moved to the left side of the library, not to the exact curb of the library, but like across in a little parking lot, hidden away where, like, if I didn't know, if I wasn't actively looking for cop cars, I would not have known they were there. They had their little lights dim. They only had like some little tiny little yellow lights showing basically. And I guess, I don't know, maybe they were staking out in case the dude decided to leave, or they were writing a report. I don't know why they were there, but they were there. Most definitely. And there weren't as many. There are only like 4 left. As you saw in that video, there's only like 4 left. Versus before, there was like, I don't know, like 10 maybe? 10, 11, 12. There was a whole lot, dude. There was a whole lot. But guys, dude, like I said, I go out searching on my bike for cop cars. Once again, check out the community tab if you want to see more cop cars. There's also, of course, you can't be forgetting about the EMS side and the fire department side. But it is 110% worth it. I should also tell you a little story about something else that I found out there that I'm not going to have a bunch of pictures of. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Depends on whether or not I want to actually like show it. But there was a CHP officer, and this was a while ago. That it basically, look for the last CHP cop car picture that I posted, and that's the one that I'm talking about. The dude is in the little Charger. It looks super nice, dude. It's like one of the nicest pictures I took. But anywho, back to the story. So basically, I'm talking to this guy. He's a bit older, and he's not as how should I say? He's not as friendly as another one I've talked to, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit later. But he's basically like, "Oh man, dude, you're so you're interested in becoming an officer. You're interested in CHP." I'm like, "Heck yeah, bro. Oh yeah, most definitely." Of course, I was a lot more respectable and polite. I'm like, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "Okay, what about the academy? The academy's closed." And he's basically talking about like a volunteer stuff. And he's talking a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't even know was available as part of CHP. I'm like, holy cowabunga. You can do some of this stuff, and you can be in like college and all this other stuff and still be in school and so on and so forth. I'm like, holy cow. This is good. This is great, dude. Of course, I'm still in high school. I'm like, you have to wait till you graduate. So I'm like, all right, after I graduate, I get to be in college and do one of those jobs that he listed. And I was I'm like, wow, that sounds like a good gig. Because then I can pay for college with the job that I'm doing, and I'll have my foot in the door so that when the time comes after I graduate, I can say, hello, CHP, or maybe not CHP. Hello, LASD. Hello, whoever I decide at that point in time. I have worked like 4 years doing this. In addition, I have a college degree. You can't deny me now. I got everything you need. I'm basically the prime example. I got experience, history. I know how to talk to criminals, because most of this stuff is already like behind the scenes, like in the jails and so on and so forth. I already know how to talk to people, because some of the other jobs have to deal with like, what's it called? Directing traffic and basically like relieving CHP officers, where like, if there's like a big scene where they only need like, like scene protection around it, it'd be like 2 of, whatever I was, and then 1 of the CHP officers, that type of ratio, so that they didn't have to have so many people armed, because, you don't need a whole bunch of people armed with guns. When the scene is basically you're just securing a scene, and you're just standing around for a couple hours. But yeah, guys, that's something else. But let me get back to the nice guy who was in a nice Explorer. So look out for a CHP Explorer picture, because I see him basically every day if I go past that area, like around, I don't know, like 7 o'clock or so on and so forth. I see that guy at a certain parking lot. I'm like, yo, what's up? I basically just waved him, because I don't want to, make him move to go look somewhere else. Because what if I have a question in the future? So I just try my best. He's usually there just writing up a report from whatever happened in the day. So I remember the first time I saw him there, of course, I went, got the picture of that CHP Explorer. You can once again look for it in the community tab. You might have to scroll. But I took a picture. I'm like, so what exactly do you prefer? Chargers or Explorers? And he said Explorers. And I was absolutely astounded. And I'm like, what? Explorers? Why Explorers? And he said that the Chargers that CHP has is V6, not V8, like what most city PDs have, if they even have Chargers to begin with. And I'm like, what? How do you have a V6 Charger that's what I was absolutely bamboozled about. How do you have a V6 Charger? I don't think it's really a Charger at that point then. But I do understand, after talking to a couple other officers, what's it called, a couple other departments and stuff, why they probably chose V6s. Because I'm like, CHP has V6s. They're like, dang, really? They didn't even know that. I'm like, really? How long have you been on the force and you still don't know that the state agency you require backup from, if anything happened, those are the guys you have to call, but you don't know they have V6s? All right, well, you know what? Your department has V8. You guys are rich, so on and so forth. Rub it in their face. But yeah, they got V6s, and what they seem to have told me, what other departments seem to have said, the reason for V6s they probably have is for gas mileage, so they don't have to spend as much on gas, because let's be completely real and honest, they're driving for hundreds of miles, tens of hundreds of miles. So, having a V8, it's great for pursuits, but for the most part, they're not in a pursuit every single day, all hours of the day. They're most likely pulling people over or sitting on the side of the road with their car idling. And guess what? V8 power still got V8 power, even when you're not moving. So gas, of course, they're trying to save that gas money so that they can get better cars in the future, so on and so forth. He also said he misses the Crown Vics, which I still don't understand why people miss Crown Vics. It's still beyond me. They're old cars. If they kept making them, then, sure, keep putting Crown Vics in. But I guess they miss the way that they drift and the way that they drive around and handle and so on and so forth. But me personally, they're old cars. I'm glad they're gone. What's it called? CHP guys, they're too old as well. Once again, that's why I love CHP, because unlike a couple other departments, sheriffs, they actually know when to retire a car because it's 10 years old and would be in 4th grade, and it's a decade years old since the newest one was released. So yeah, I guess because, the union is that strong. They like the car that much at the sheriffs that they want to keep it around. Even if it's old and breaks down and all types of other stuff, they still want it, I guess. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with all your friends, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, or maybe even later today with a bonus video. All right, bye, guys.